All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about how to describe the direction of a vector. As you saw in our notes, to describe the direction, we will need the angle, and then we can talk about what direction it is in. So here I have a grid for you with 4 different planes. Every plane is labeled. This is the east direction of the plane, this is the north direction of the plane, this is the west direction of the plane, and this is the south. I have 4 different vectors drawn here, but we are going to start with our first vector. So if I was to ask you, how would you describe the direction of this vector? Now, most of you are going to say, well, it's northeast, Mr. Fossler. Yes, it's in the northeast direction, but that is not how we describe it. So, how to describe this? There's 2 ways. First, we're going to need our protractor. You guys can either use the app, or if you cut out your own, you can use that as well. We are going to set it down with the x-axis, line it up, and we see that the angle of this vector from the x-axis is 30 degrees. So if we go from the x-axis to this vector, it is 30 degrees. So we have an angle of 30 degrees, and we call that direction because we can't just say northeast. That direction is north of east. We are starting on the east direction, and we are going towards the north. That's why we say north of east. Now, for the second one. For number 2, we got to take our protractor again, line it up this way now with the y-axis because we are measuring from the y-axis, and we find that this is 60 degrees. So for number 2, the angle is 60 degrees, but the direction is going to be east of north. We are starting on the north part, and we are moving to the east. So we are going east of north. Let's try number 3 now. For number 3, we are measuring it from the y-axis. So we set up our protractor here, and we see that that angle is 60 degrees. So again, our angle is 60 degrees. If we are measuring from the y-axis, so we are going west of north. We are starting north, and we are going west of north. Let's look at number 4. Number 4, using our protractor, we find out that the angle is 30 degrees. So we know the angle is 30 degrees, but now what is the direction? Well, if I'm measuring it from the x-axis, so I'm measuring it from the west direction, we are going north. So we are north of west. Time for number 5. Using our protractor again, line that up. We are measuring from the x-axis, and we are going to our vector, and we see that that is 30 degrees as well. So for number 5, it's 30 degrees. Well, if I'm starting on the x-axis, so I'm starting west, and I'm going to south, I must be south of west. All right, and most of you guys, we should be now starting to see a little pattern here. Let's go on for number 6. Line up our protractor now on the y-axis, and we see that this angle is 60 degrees. So for number 6, our angle is 60 degrees. If I'm starting south and I'm moving west, so I'm starting on the y-axis and I'm moving to my vector, that is going to be west of south. Almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Number 7, line up on the y-axis again. Measuring with our protractor, we see that it says 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. So our angle is 60 degrees. If we're starting on the y-axis, moving to our vector, we are starting south and we're moving east. Well, we must be east of south. Starting south and we're moving east, so we're east of our south starting point. Number 8, which I already have drawn up here, I'm silly, is this last vector angle here. Measure from the x-axis, and we can see that that angle is 30 degrees. That angle is 30 degrees. If we're starting east and we're going south, that is going to be south of east. So, ladies and gentlemen, a little tip when looking and describing directions of vectors. Wherever you start, whatever direction you start in, right? So this is our east direction. And if we go to the north and we measure that angle, we're going north of our east direction. All right? So go through, try to analyze it again, right? You don't have to draw or measure the vectors. Just go through and make sure you know if I'm starting east, I go north, I am north of east. And so on.